Stoics, like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, shared a view of life that many continue to find helpful in dealing with their life's challenges. In this video, we'll talk about how you can adopt Stoic principles and make a positive impact on your daily life through powerful habits from the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Born in 121 CE, Marcus Aurelius became the first of the 5 good emperors of Rome. As a practicing Stoic, Marcus Aurelius kept a journal of his thoughts, which were ultimately turned into the book Meditations. Although the thoughts captured in Meditations aren't original to him, they continue to offer guidance on how to live a good life in the face of chaos. So what did Stoics believe? The ancient Stoics believed that to live an ethical life, each individual had to practice self-master and strive for wisdom. The basic principles Stoics based their lives on were justice, wisdom, courage, and temperance. According to Stoic beliefs, a person who lives without these guiding principles has failed to fulfill their responsibilities to themselves and their community. If you find yourself struggling to deal with the chaos that so often accompanies modern life, you may want to consider developing habits that this philosophy recommends. Early Stoic philosophers believed that the goal of one's life was to live in agreement with nature. As Stoics believed that pain and unhappiness were a fact of life, they didn't try to avoid the struggles of life. Instead, Stoics sought to develop habits that allowed them to respond to the adversity life brought them logically and with self-awareness. Stoics often used their response to adversity as a way of gauging their ability to control their more primal instances and exhibit their ethical development. Stoics believed that as nature had built humans with the mental capacity to develop reason, it was the individual's life purpose to develop this capacity within themselves. The Stoics believed that a person who behaved rationally was wise. Therefore, according to Stoics, wisdom and self-regulation of emotion were identified as the skills each individual needed to develop to lead a life consistent with their nature. Stoics believed that measured emotional responses, rather than passionate outbursts, were the path to fulfilling one's purpose in life. This virtuous, logic-based life was seen as every individual's personal, professional, social, and civic responsibility. So how can you adopt Stoic principles to improve your daily life? The Stoics left us with several options for improving our daily lives. One of the strategies many Stoics used to help them improve their self-awareness involved journaling. Other options included focusing on the difficulties one could anticipate experiencing to develop an appropriate response, practicing self-deprivation to build improved awareness of one's value system, and reflecting on the ideal to explore personal values and develop a path to personal improvement. First principle, journal for wisdom and self-awareness. One of the guiding principles for Stoics is wisdom. Here the Stoics didn't simply refer to the practice of learning. For Stoics, wisdom also included self-knowledge or self-awareness. To develop a strong awareness of their beliefs, values, feelings, and overall perspective or viewpoint, Stoics practiced daily journaling so that they could step back from what they were feeling and review their thoughts from a rational or logical perspective. Whether you've ever practiced journaling before, you are unlikely to have practiced journaling as the Stoics did. It is best to take up the practice of daily journaling at a specific time of day when you have the luxury of reflecting. Most people find that it is easiest for them to capture their thoughts regarding problems from their daily lives by journaling at night. When doing this type of journaling, you will want to focus on what you are struggling with. Write down not only what is happening, but also your thoughts and feelings about what is occurring. At the end of each week, take some time to review what you dealt with over the past week and ask yourself if you handled the issues you encountered logically. You may find that journaling about your reflection to how you handled the week's past issues offers you increased insight into how well you are dealing with your emotions. Remember, the major purposes of Stoic journaling are to support emotional regulation and improve your ability to deal with the chaos of life in a rational way. Second principle, reflect forward for times of trouble. Another habit that Stoics often engaged in was to consider values from the future that might cause them pain and suffering. Many Stoics practiced visualizing disaster. Whether the concern was growing old and living in poor health or the death of a loved one, Stoics believed that reflecting on these highly likely events would help them prepare mentally in such a way that they could meet these struggles with improved self-control. By reflecting on future misfortune, Stoics understood that they would improve the likelihood of remaining meaningfully engaged in their lives when the inevitable became a reality. This practice allowed Stoics to prepare logically for potential issues rather than resorting to unhealthy and socially unacceptable responses. Rather than distracting yourself from the things that worry you, behaving like a Stoic in this manner can help you develop a game plan for issues you may face in the future. Take a moment to list the things that you worry may cause you pain in the future. Each time you practice this type of exercise, you may wish to work on a different potential issue, or you may reflect on many occasions on a particular concern you find most bothersome. Once you have chosen the issue you wish to reflect on, consider all of the ways this potential problem would impact your life. For example, if you are particularly concerned about the loss of your significant other, take some time to consider every aspect of your life this would change. If you are a parent, consider how the loss of the support of your partner would change the responsibilities you would then be dealing with. As you note the consequences related to the loss of your partner, take notice of how you feel emotionally. Once you've allowed yourself to develop an awareness of how this feels, turn your attention to potential solutions associated with each of the difficulties you are able to anticipate. Third, create a perfect person and develop a plan towards it. Stoics didn't just reflect on potential negative experiences. They also used their imaginations to create an ideal with which to compare themselves. For this exercise, create a list of attributes the perfect person would have. While it's fine to include physical traits, you also want to be sure that you are considering aspects of an individual's mental, spiritual, and social attributes. If you are particularly creative, you may find that creating a visual image, somewhat like a vision or dream board, is a meaningful extension of this exercise. Once you've created your perfect person, take the time to see how you measure up. Now create a plan, beginning with the attribute you most wish to exhibit, and develop a plan to bring yourself into a more perfect alignment with that ideal. If you're looking to add an additional layer of self-awareness to these exercises, you can always journal about your experience. By journaling your thoughts and feelings about these exercises, you are increasing your conscious awareness of both your feelings and how logical your approach to the feelings they call forth in you is likely to be. This then will give you more information to work with in improving self-control. To conclude, the life lessons from Stoic philosophy are: journal for wisdom and self-awareness, reflect forward for times of trouble, use your imagination to create a perfect person and develop a plan to bring yourself into an alignment with that ideal. Don't forget to subscribe because more great videos are coming soon.